Have you ever woken up on an ordinary day and felt as if nothing really mattered? As if every effort, every achievement, even the happiest moments, simply vanished like smoke in the air? This is exactly what consumed Leo Tolstoy, one of the greatest geniuses in world literature. The man behind War and Peace and Anna Karenina, landowner, intellectual, father of 13 children, suddenly found himself on the edge of despair. And out of this abyss came one of his most revealing works, a confession, where he wrote, "My life came to a standstill. I could breathe, eat, drink, and sleep, but there was no life, for there were no wishes, the fulfillment of which I could consider reasonable. And if I wished for anything, I knew beforehand that whether I satisfied it or not, nothing would come of it." In this video, we'll follow Tolstoy's journey through existential crisis, nihilism, philosophy, and science, until he found a surprising answer in the simple faith of the Russian peasants. Tolstoy was in his 50s when emptiness struck with full force. On the outside, he had everything: fame, fortune, family. Yet inside, he was collapsing. As he confessed, why go on making any effort? What for? What could come of it? Nothing but suffering and death. Death will wipe out everything. Day after day, this question haunted him. What is the value of life if death erases it all? Sleep became his only escape, and suicidal thoughts followed him closely. But instead of surrendering, Tolstoy began a desperate search for meaning. He turned to science first, but found only cold mechanisms. As he put it, science gives no answer to the question, what is the meaning of life? Science only says what is. But what should be? Science is silent. Philosophy seemed no better. From the wisdom of Socrates to the pessimism of Schopenhauer, he found no hope. On the contrary, the more he read, the darker it became. He wrote, "The best that human thought can reach is that life is meaningless." Tolstoy captured this despair in a striking parable. A man hangs between a wild beast above and a dragon below, clinging to a branch that drips a few drops of honey. The honey is sweet, but it cannot save him from death. From these reflections, Tolstoy identified 4 ways people respond to the absurdity of existence. Ignorance, not thinking about it, simply living on. Epicureanism, chasing pleasures, wealth, and distraction. Suicide, facing despair by ending life. Weakness, recognizing the truth but continuing anyway, without courage or hope. Tolstoy himself admitted that suicide tempted him. Yet as he confessed, "I could not kill myself, and yet I could not live. And meanwhile I went on, hiding this rope from myself so that I should not hang myself from a beam between the cupboards in my room." He was suspended between life and death, but something within him resisted complete surrender. The turning point came when Tolstoy looked at the peasants. Poor, overworked, and oppressed, yet they lived with unshakable faith in God. He realized, "It was evident to me that mankind lives and continues to live by virtue of something other than the knowledge of the sages and the theories of the learned. It is by faith." While his reason led him to despair, their faith gave them strength. For the first time, Tolstoy saw that life's meaning might lie beyond logic and intellect. From then on, Tolstoy changed profoundly. He abandoned much of his aristocratic luxury, drew closer to a life of simplicity, and returned to the Gospels for guidance. As he declared, faith is the knowledge of the meaning of human life, in consequence of which man does not destroy himself, but lives. Faith is the force of life. He was particularly struck by the Sermon on the Mount, which became his moral compass: humility, compassion, service to others. Even when he clashed with the Orthodox Church, Tolstoy held firmly to this conviction that life only makes sense when it is lived beyond oneself. Tolstoy died in 1910 at a small railway station, far from the grandeur of his youth. Yet he died in peace, having discovered a meaning that neither fame, wealth, nor art had given him. His legacy is not only literary, but also philosophical and spiritual. A reminder for us all: the meaning of life is to serve humanity by contributing to the progress of the soul. And so the same question that once crushed him is left for us: what is the purpose of your life? Perhaps like Tolstoy, you'll find that meaning is not in possessions or power, but in faith, simplicity, and compassion. If this journey moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and let's continue exploring together the timeless search for truth and meaning.